2024 presents a pivotal moment for democracy worldwide. Significant elections and geopolitical events will unfold. These events carry profound implications for international stability and cooperation. We stand at a crossroads. The choices made this year will shape the global landscape for years to come. The rise of populism and nationalism continues to challenge democratic norms. The international community faces complex crises. These include climate change, economic uncertainty, and ongoing conflicts. Amidst this backdrop of uncertainty, the need for strong and decisive leadership is paramount. 2024 will witness a wave of consequential elections across the globe, marking a pivotal moment in modern history. The United States, India, Indonesia, and the European Union will hold elections, each with its own unique set of challenges and opportunities. These elections hold immense weight in shaping the global balance of power, potentially redefining alliances and geopolitical strategies. They will influence international relations and the future of democracy itself, as nations grapple with internal and external pressures. The U.S. presidential election will be particularly significant, as it could set the tone for global policies on various critical issues. The outcome will have far-reaching implications for global trade, security, and climate policy, affecting international agreements and collaborations. Simultaneously, elections in other major democracies will test the resilience of democratic institutions in an era of increasing polarization and populism. The results of these elections could usher in a new era of international cooperation or exacerbate existing divisions, impacting global stability. The world will be watching closely as these democratic processes unfold, with hopes and fears intertwined, as the future of global governance hangs in the balance. The global economy is grappling with a perfect storm of challenges. From the bustling cityscapes to the heart of financial districts, the impact is felt everywhere. Interest rate hikes, inflation, and geopolitical uncertainties have created a volatile economic landscape. Investors and everyday citizens alike are constantly checking stock prices and economic news, trying to make sense of the fluctuations. The ongoing war in Ukraine has disrupted supply chains and fueled energy price increases, exacerbating inflationary pressures. Empty supermarket shelves and rising oil prices are just some of the visible signs of this disruption. These economic headwinds have profound implications for political stability worldwide. Governments are finding it increasingly difficult to maintain order as protests become more frequent and intense. Rising costs of living are fueling social unrest and discontent. Families are struggling to make ends meet, leading to crowded food banks and growing frustration. Governments are facing mounting pressure to address economic grievances while navigating complex geopolitical challenges. Diplomatic efforts are in full swing, but solutions are not easy to come by. The interconnectedness of the global economy means that economic shocks in one part of the world can quickly reverberate across borders. Cargo ships and international airports are the lifelines of global trade, but they are also vulnerable to disruptions. This economic uncertainty injects an element of unpredictability into the political landscape. Political debates are increasingly dominated by discussions of economic crises, and leaders are under immense pressure to provide solutions. Voters are more likely to embrace populist rhetoric and anti-establishment candidates in times of economic hardship. The appeal of simple solutions to complex problems becomes stronger as people seek stability and change. The digital realm is increasingly shaping the contours of electoral politics. With every passing election cycle, the influence of technology becomes more pronounced, altering how campaigns are run and how voters engage with the political process. Social media platforms have become battlegrounds for information warfare and misinformation campaigns. These platforms, while offering unprecedented connectivity, also serve as conduits for spreading false information, which can sway public opinion and disrupt the democratic process. The rise of artificial intelligence adds another layer of complexity to this digital landscape. AI technologies are being used to analyze voter behavior, predict election outcomes, and even tailor political messages to individual voters, making the electoral process more sophisticated, yet more opaque. AI-powered algorithms can now create highly realistic and persuasive deepfakes. These deepfakes can be used to manipulate public perception by creating false narratives, making it increasingly difficult for voters to discern truth from fiction. These deepfakes have the potential to mislead voters and undermine trust in democratic processes. The confusion and mistrust they generate can have long-lasting effects on voter confidence and the overall integrity of elections. The use of AI in elections raises concerns about voter manipulation and the erosion of democratic norms. As AI becomes more integrated into the electoral process, questions about its ethical use and the potential for abuse become more pressing. Governments and tech companies are grappling with the challenge of regulating AI without stifling innovation. The need for effective oversight is critical to ensure that AI technologies are used responsibly and do not compromise the fairness of elections. Finding the right balance between free speech and protecting the integrity of elections is paramount in the digital age. Ensuring that voters have access to accurate information while safeguarding democratic principles is a complex but essential task for the future of elections. Section 5. The Russia-Ukraine War, a catalyst for global instability. The ongoing war in Ukraine has sent shockwaves throughout the international system. It has shattered Europe's security architecture and triggered the worst refugee crisis since World War II. The conflict has also exacerbated global food and energy insecurity, leading to price hikes and shortages worldwide. The war has exposed the fragility of the rules-based international order and highlighted the devastating human cost of conflict. It serves as a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of global security and the importance of diplomacy and dialogue in resolving international disputes. Section 6. Climate change, a looming threat to global security. Climate change poses an existential threat to humanity. It is already contributing to extreme weather events, rising sea levels, and mass displacement. The failure to adequately address climate change will have catastrophic consequences for global security and stability. Competition for scarce resources, such as water and arable land, is likely to intensify, leading to conflict and instability. Climate-induced migration will put further strain on resources and social cohesion in receiving countries. Addressing this global challenge requires urgent and coordinated action from the international community. Section 7. The Global Food Crisis. A recipe for unrest. The world is facing an unprecedented global food crisis. The convergence of multiple factors, including the war in Ukraine, climate change, and supply chain disruptions, has led to soaring food prices and widespread hunger. Millions of people are at risk of starvation. Food insecurity is a major driver of social unrest and political instability. Governments that are unable to provide for their citizens' basic needs face an increased risk of protests, riots, and even regime change. Addressing the root causes of the global food crisis is essential for maintaining global peace and security. Section 8. The Rise of Authoritarianism, a challenge to democracy. Democracy is facing a global recession. Authoritarian leaders are consolidating power in many parts of the world, eroding democratic norms and institutions. The rise of populism, nationalism, and xenophobia has created fertile ground for authoritarianism to flourish. Authoritarian regimes often resort to repression, censorship, and human rights violations to silence dissent and maintain control. The erosion of democracy in one part of the world can have a ripple effect, emboldening authoritarian leaders elsewhere. Defending democracy requires a concerted effort to promote democratic values, strengthen democratic institutions, and hold authoritarian leaders accountable. Section 9. The importance of international cooperation. In an increasingly interconnected world, international cooperation is more important than ever. The complex challenges facing humanity, such as climate change, pandemics, and economic instability, cannot be solved by any one nation alone. Multilateral institutions, such as the United Nations, provide a platform for dialogue, cooperation, and conflict resolution. Strengthening these institutions and fostering a spirit of multilateralism is crucial for addressing global challenges and maintaining international peace and security. Section 10. 2024 and Beyond. A Call for Global Action. The year 2024 will be a pivotal year for global politics. The choices made this year will have far-reaching consequences for the future. Addressing the challenges and opportunities of our time requires strong leadership, international cooperation, and a shared commitment to democratic values. The stakes are high, but the potential for progress is also significant. By working together, we can navigate the turbulent waters ahead and build a more peaceful, just, and sustainable future for all.